Just what is jazz minor? I mean, we all know it's a scale, but is it really a jazz scale? And where did the name come from? I'm not going to give you the history of this scale, except to say that it's been used for hundreds of years, and it's the scale that Bach usually used when he was ascending in minor. That's how old it is. It amuses me that jazz musicians steal things from traditional teaching. You get the idea that they've made up everything important. That includes scales, chords, systems, and in some cases, even rhythms. But while I'm making fun of jazz musicians for stealing so much, I want to point out that their explanations of how things work are normally surprisingly clear, and that's why I pass them on to students. In fact, jazz thinking is very close to mine, and yet traditional music is not only what I started with, but perhaps what I do best. And over time, I found out that often conclusions that I have come to about how music works is very, very close to what is being taught in jazz schools. Now, let's get to it. First, I'm going to present my own name for this scale, which is simple minor. In other words, jazz minor is the simplest minor scale. Why? Because you simply play a major scale, then lower the third note. I think in general, the rest of the world learns another method, and that method comes from the natural minor scale, which you have to learn first, then use it to make two adjustments. You raise 6 and 7. I want to stress that both these methods will give you the same result, so it's best to pick one or the other and stick with it. But I'll present both, then you choose. As usual, there are no rules here except just to master the skill. So do whatever floats your boat. To make simple minor or jazz minor from major, start first with the C major scale, then lower E to E flat. Once you have this method down, you want to transfer it to other major scales, probably F and G major. Then to use the other method, start with A natural minor and raise 6 and 7. Using the minor scale method, you probably want to learn D and E minor next, because they're very handy. Let's start with major and move to jazz minor by only lowering 3. Now let's start with natural minor and move to jazz minor, raising 6 and 7. And that's really it. That's the whole thing. Eventually, you want to do this in all 12 keys or all 12 pitch levels. Now, if what I've just done interests you, please subscribe to my channel and leave a comment.